Hey, what's up guys? This is Alvin, aka Madiba Halls, and today I'll be bringing you a review of the Jada Toys SDCC 2023 Evil Ryu. Now, before I begin, if you could just leave a thumbs up, like rating on my video, I would greatly appreciate that. It's to show your support. And I'm really stoked to have this Evil Ryu right here. I didn't think that I would get it so soon, right after Ryu, Chun-Li, and Fei Long. But let's just get to it, right? So yeah, so here's Evil Ryu, fresh out of the box, and it comes with a lot more accessories than the usual Jada toy Street Fighters that we got in the line. And if you were to look at the extras that are given, the accessories, we have 3 head sculpts in total. So the first one is the very stoic look with an evil eye, if you call it that. And there is also that angry face. I'll say this is the super angry face, because there's one that's a totally pissed off look. So there are 2 varying head sculpts. I think, if you'd ask me, I would prefer to have one which, have his mouth open or something, so at least something different, a shouting mouth. Yeah, but I guess I can't complain with 2 different sculpts, right? And yeah, it seems like this sculpt is pretty similar to the other one from the original Ryu. Yeah, so this is the one from the original Ryu, and it seems to be the same head sculpt. Yeah, except no, I think it's slightly different. The hair is different. Yeah, and of course the eyes are different, and yeah, it seems that the original Ryu has a lot more. I think he has a bigger mouth than the Evil Ryu. I'm not so sure. I don't know. You tell me. Right? And he also comes with an extra set of hands, and this is for the Hadouken effect or any other moves that you would like. He also comes with 2 fireballs, 2 different colors, and I think they are totally different sculpt. The one that's orange seems to have this extra bit of, I'm not sure what to call this, but there's something extra on the orange that the purple one doesn't have. Yeah, so pretty cool. And it's different because the one from the original Ryu has a pair of hands inside. Not sure if you can see this under the light. So we have 3 different fireball effects, which I think is pretty dope. Yeah, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the original Player 1 Ryu is able to command a fire, an orange fireball as well. It's not just the blue Hadouken. Yeah, so this would work for the OG Ryu as well. So I'm really happy that it included that. And besides that, there's also the stand for the fireball effects, right, which is the same for the OG Ryu. But what's really cool are these 2 stands that are given, right? Which, if you can see in the background, yeah, so this backdrop came with the box as well. We'll talk about it later, but yeah, I think it's awesome that they included this stand at the side. So if you want to do your own diorama, I would imagine this would be very hard to replicate. So having Evo come with this is really awesome. And to add to that effect, there is also one additional one. So so they gave you two different stands, and one is in a perfect condition, and the other you're able to break into different parts. And it's only held together because of the tape. So it's already taped up in the box when I took it out. So I just didn't dismantle it. Yeah, so if you were to remove the tape, and this whole thing would just come apart, which I think is a really good idea, and I think that it can stand on its own. Let me just put it to the test and just take out the tape right now. All right, so we got the tape off. Okay, let's just put this aside. And we have a stand here. Whoa. It's like playing jigsaw puzzles. And voila. So it can stand on its own. Yeah, with no problem. Yeah, so I think different options here. And the stand here, it reads, well, I'm Chinese, so I can only read this in Chinese. I can't read this in Japanese kanji. So it's Feng Ling Huo Shan, which in Chinese anyway, in Mandarin, it refers to wind. Feng is wind. Ling would be forest or wood or trees. Huo would be fire, and Shan is the mountains. So yeah, I'm not sure what it is in Japanese. Yeah, but it's the exact same words on his belt as well. Yeah, so I think it's really cool that Jada Toys managed to find a way to print the characters. You see how small it is, but it looks really good. Yeah, the calligraphy is fantastic. So really awesome. Right, so yeah, so let's talk about the figure himself. Yeah, so Evil Ryu, I think he looks really awesome because he's not just pitch black, so it's a kind of dark gray instead of a pitch black. So the only thing that's black would be his belt, and even his wrist guards are also a kind of dark brown. Yeah, and his hair is also dark brown. Yeah, which is very different from the original Ryu, because the original Ryu has jet black hair. Yeah, so you can see that it's quite different. Yeah, but he has the same stoic face as the OG Ryu. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put Ryu at the side here. Yeah, so I'm really excited to have this figure because I played a lot of Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter Alpha 2 and Street Fighter 4 growing up. So seeing all these characters coming up, Evil Ryu, yeah, I'm really excited about it. Unfortunately, I never played this version, the Ultra Street Fighter Final Challengers, so I never got to use Evil Ryu in that game itself. Yeah, but I used him quite a fair bit in Street Fighter Alpha 2. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's really cool. Yeah. So how is it different from the OG Ryu? Besides the color of the gi, is that evidently the skin tone is also different. I'm not sure whether you can see it here, but the OG Ryu has a lighter beige, and whereas this Evil Ryu has hints of pink running through going through his body. Yeah, so excuse me. So there's a bit of pink shading around the muscles, which I think is really awesome because it kind of shows his power, right? You know, the dark Hadu coming out of him. And yeah, whoa, here we go. Yeah, so yeah, why I really like Evil Ryu is because he represents that side of us, right? That sometimes that dark side that we don't want to come out, you know, that wants to I don't know, punch people. Yeah, so Ryu is always fighting himself. It's always a internal battle, right? That he's always aiming to be the strongest fighter, and that's his destination. You know, the journey is the destination. He's always on the way to improving himself, and in that journey, unfortunately, you know, he's tempted to, you know, use the dark Hadu, and in this case, he succumbed to the dark Hadu, and yeah, he's Evil Ryu. Yeah, and I think Evil Ryu is cool because he's able to do that raging demon move that only Akuma could do. Yeah, so yeah, it's really cool. Right, so that aside, he's pretty much the same as the OG Ryu in terms of articulation, right? So you could get him to a variety of poses. Yeah, so you can do the Shoryuken, just like how the OG Ryu did it. Yeah, so you can do a Shoryuken. Right, so that's cool. And you can also do the Hurricane Kick. Yeah, so if you want him to do that Hurricane Kick, he's able to do that. No problem. If you want him to have that Akuma stance, he could do it too. Yeah. So in this version of Street Fighter, he doesn't come with words on the back of his gi. Right, so that's the Akuma move, right? And if you want him to do the Raging Demon, he could very well do it too. Right. So that's about to do the Raging Demon. Wow, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I think one chief complaint that I might have about this figure is that he doesn't come with a toe hinge. And it's the same issue with the OG Ryu as well. And without the toe hinge, he's not able to do a Hadouken move smoothly. So just to show you what I mean is that, well, if you already have a Ryu, you know what I'm talking about, right? Right, so it's the Hadouken. So we'll do that. Yeah, so the problem is getting him into that stance, you know, to do that Hadouken. So he's not able to tiptoe, yeah, over here. So he can only stand flat like this, you know, while attempting to do a Hadouken. Yeah, so that's really a shame because I think this figure is perfect in every way. But if you cannot do his trademark Hadouken move, then I think it's really a shame, right? Yeah. So if you want him to kind of tiptoe, it's possible, but it doesn't look very natural. We don't stand like that, right? Yeah, and I think the butterfly joints could, if possible, push a little more, such that he can push his arms together. But the gi gets in the way. Yeah. So it is possible to do a Hadouken, but you really have to push and flex it, right? Yeah, he's able to do it. Yeah, able to finesse it as well. So yeah, that's Ryu and the Hadouken. So I think I covered all the moves that he could do, right? Besides the usual kicks and punches that he throws. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's really awesome. Joints wise, it's pretty tight, so I don't think you need to heat them up. They can move. They are not really that. You don't need to heat it up. That's for sure. I know for some other toy companies, you need to actually heat them up. Yeah, for the joints to move. But here it's pretty obvious. You don't need to. Okay. Well, I've seen some of you remove the gi for Ryu, so I've not actually tried it before. So I'm just gonna do it on camera now. At the risk of ruining my figure. Okay, how do I do this? I evidently have not thought this through. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'll probably do it off camera. Yeah, but I think it's cool that Jada Toys is giving us this option to be able to take out his gi. Just gonna put his angry face here. Angry face, angry face. Right. Yep, there we go. So, well, I just want to say that I think Jada Toys has done a lot, and at this price point, I really can't complain. This SDCC Deluxe Evil Ryu is more expensive than the usual ones that they have, but then again, this is a deluxe, and you don't need to go for it if you are not a fan of Evil Ryu, or you're just perfectly happy with the OG Ryu. Yeah, and in all honesty, you don't need Evil Ryu per se. Yeah, and it's just a nice variant to have. And of course, it's easy for me to say that because I already have it now. But truth to be told, they are almost the same. It's just the head sculpts is a little different. And yeah, immediately you do get the additional fireball, which Evil Ryu, which the OG Ryu could use as well. Yeah, I think the orange fireball is really cool at that point. I remember I was so happy when I was able to execute the orange fireball. Yeah, and I think what's cool also is that they provided a backdrop, in the box. Now, of course, okay, let's just move this aside. It's not meant to be a kind of a diorama piece, but I think you could very well use it, right? Yeah, so if you just cut the tape at the side, yeah, you could just expand it to make it look like an actual Street Fighter venue. Yeah, so I think it's pretty awesome that Jada Toys included the backdrop, and that's really appreciated, very much appreciated. I'm probably gonna do some shots with that. And on the topic of boxes, so it comes in this giant box, deluxe box, and I'm really excited to see this lineup over here. So you see that we have Evo Ryu, it's already done. We have Ryu, which we already have. We have E Honda, Blanca, Gaio, which you saw at SDCC. We have T-Hawk, Fei Long, which we already have. Barok, Sagat, with Akuma. Ooh, we're getting Akuma. Evo Ken. Was it Evo Ken? No, it's Violent Ken, sorry. There's Ken, Chun-Li, which we already got. Zangief, Dalsim and Cammy we saw, and DJ. I'm so stoked for DJ. We never had a DJ before. And we have Vega and Bison, and the last one, I have no idea who he is. Alright, maybe some of you would know. Anyway, I think it's really cool that Jada Toys included this box, yeah, in the backdrop, and I really have to give them kudos to them, yeah, for doing that. All right, so let's do some size comparisons with various figures. So we have the OG Ryu over here, and we have Chun-Li, right, and Fei Long. So this is how he looks alongside his other mates, right? So let's get them out of the way. And next we have, all right, well, I think I have a Magneto, so yeah, if you do a Marvel vs. Capcom, you can fight Magneto. And this is one with a custom head sculpt from Casting Cave. Yeah, that's really awesome, right? Magneto. Right, so Magneto aside, what else do we have? Oh, and if you really want to get your Marvel vs. Capcom game on, so that's Captain America, again with a custom head sculpt from Casting Cave. Yeah, so they size really well. I can imagine them fighting alongside each other or against each other already. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And for another size, I'll include the Marvel Legends Grey Hulk. So Grey Hulk is a lot bigger than him, obviously. And yeah, I think that would be a very nice battle between Grey Hulk and Evo Ryu, right? They are variants of each other. That's pretty cool, right? Okay, so that's for Marvel Legends. What else should we... Oh, right. If you want to include other characters never been featured in Marvel vs. Capcom, Punisher could enter the scene as well. So here we have Punisher with a custom head sculpt from Drone Custom, painted by JCM Custom Paints, and with the guns from Miliworks. Right, so that's Mezco, which I think is still a pretty good size. Mezco is always a bit bigger than the regular Legends. And here we have another Mezco figure, and that's Superman. if you want to get your DC versus Capcom going on. I don't think that would be a good idea, right? DC versus Capcom, wow. Well, if we only had that, can you imagine what the super moves would be? So that's Superman next to Evil Ryu. I think it's a nice height because Superman stands a little taller. Yeah, and if you want to have some villains, you can have Mr. Freeze as well. Miss Freeze gun. So that's Mr. Freeze. If you want to get your DC versus Capcom going on. Right, so that's for DC. And what else do we have? Okay. Right, I think this will be a nice face off. And here we have the Four Horsemen, Figura Obscura, Mythic Legions, Sun Wukong. Yeah, and Sun Wukong stands taller than Evil Ryu, but I think you can still put them alongside each other in a fight. I think I can envision that. Oh dear. Oops. Okay, so one of his feathers fell off. Okay, so there we go. So that's Sun Wukong for you. And for another size comparison, we have Miles Morales. So this is Sentinel, Spider-Verse, Miles Morales. Yeah, it is a little shorter than Evil Ryu, which I think works because, well, he's a teenager in this first iteration of the Spider-Verse. So yeah, I think it works. So plenty of options for you if you want to have your Marvel vs. Capcom or crossovers or what have you. A lot of options. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this review, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much. Peace.